All righty. Well, good evening, everybody, and I appreciate everyone taking time on their Monday evening to join us for this athlete leadership and regionalization webinar. I'm pretty sure everybody on here right now I am familiar with, but just in case there's anyone that jumps in late or is watching this recording, my name is Jordan Schubert, Manager of Athlete Leadership and Young Athletes. Super excited to talk about what athlete leadership will look like in the, not what it will look like, what it has looked like in the Greater Lehigh Valley Pocono region, which our guest presenters will be talking about in a little bit. Just a couple ground rules. I'm gonna go ahead, since we have quite a few people on right now, I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody. What I'm gonna ask you to do is, if you have a question during the presentation, feel free to drop it in the chat, and I'll try to address those when appropriate. And if for whatever reason we can't address them during the meeting, we'll have some time at the end for Q&A. We'll give the chats the first go, and then everybody that wants to speak is welcome to unmute themselves. Also want to give a quick shout out to some staff that we have joining. In particularly Nate Garland, our new Chief Mission Officer. Nate, thank you for joining us. Anything you want to say to the athlete leaders and mentors before we get started?
No, Jordan, thanks for the invite. I feel privileged to get the opportunity to hang with all these great athletes. So I'm don't want to be a distraction. I'm just ready to listen to all this great content, and appreciate, like you said, Jordan, everyone getting after it right at the beginning of the week on a Monday night. Shows your guys' commitment to our movement, and I really appreciate all your time.
Great, thank you, Nate. So I want to start by sharing this definition of athlete leadership, and everybody here that's gone through Athlete Leadership University has seen this as when we went through our pledge training. And so just so for anybody that's new or needs a little refresher, the definition of athlete leadership is: through organized training and practical experience, athlete leadership prepares athletes to undertake meaningful positions of influence and leadership throughout the Special Olympics organization, both on and off the playing field. Athlete leadership has been a huge staple of Special Olympics Pennsylvania for many years, and we want our athletes to not only succeed in sports, but be able to contribute in so many ways that is well beyond. And so what exactly is the purpose of athlete leadership? This is another thing that I pulled from our pledge training. The purpose of athlete leadership is empowering athletes to develop leadership skills and utilize their voices and abilities to undertake meaningful leadership roles. Again, there's meaningful. Influence change in the Special Olympics movement and create inclusive communities around the world. So I underline the word meaningful because we want this to be an opportunity that's worthwhile, not just for our staff or our local program leaders, but really all of you as athletes, so that you feel like you have the opportunity to give back to an organization that's given you so much. So to be specific, athlete leadership has been a part of Special Olympics Pennsylvania for a little over 30 years. Some of you may know that Claire Walsh-Miller recently retired, and one of the things I tell people that I think was one of Claire's biggest contributions to Special Olympics Pennsylvania was that she brought athlete leadership ideas with her from when she came over from Special Olympics International in the late 80s. I just want to go through, and there's even more than what we have here on the slide, but this was just the most that I could fit in which I could say, just to give a handful of to give you a reasonable idea of what we've accomplished in the last 3+ decades. We've had athlete representatives serve on local program management teams and leading their athlete leadership teams, creating a pipeline between the grassroots athletes and the management team, and eventually the state office too. We have global messengers speaking at all events, local, sectional, state, any and everything in between for both competitive and non-competitive events. We've had athletes that have been motivated to become certified coaches in several different sports by attending both athletes as coaches at Athlete Leadership University and attending training schools hosted by our sports URGS team. Also recently, we've had health and fitness coordinators keeping their peers active through their health and fitness clubs and healthy habits education, not just during sports, but throughout the year. Since 2012, we've hosted Athlete Congress every 2 years, and we're going to host it again next year during Leadership Conference. We've had 2 athlete representatives on the SOBA board of directors since the conclusion of the 2012 Athlete Congress. And of course, we have had the creation of the Regional Info Council in 2014, which we have one of our members co-presenting in a little bit. So when I put this slideshow together, I originally was going to put in what are some negatives of athlete leadership and why regionalization was necessary. And the more I thought of it, we don't really, at this point, there's really no need to focus on what the problems are or were, because that's why we're addressing them right now. Again, not just Amanda from the Regional Info Council, but also one of our volunteers and staff from the Greater Lehigh Valley Pocono region will explain a little bit more. But I just want, rather instead of focusing on the issues, I want to focus on why regionalization makes what we talk about on this slide right here even better. So we're going to talk about over the next few slides more opportunities for everybody, improved staff and volunteer support, improved communication processes, more and better opportunities to discuss and implement feedback at the local and regional level, and much more. So with me tonight, I have 3 guest presenters. First, we have Amanda Knaus, the Greater Lehigh Valley Pocono region RIC representative. Then we also have Alice Moat, who is the Amanda's mentor, as well as the team leader. That's the new name we're going to give program managers of Team Bethlehem. So team is going to be a commonly used phrase in the regional structure, because it is truly a team effort of staff, volunteers, and athletes. And last but not least, we also have Julie Benjamin, the Greater Lehigh Valley Pocono Region Executive Director. So ladies, thank you again for taking time to talk with us this evening about what you've accomplished in the last year in the Greater Lehigh Valley Pocono region. So Amanda, I'm going to start with you to talk about what you have worked on with the Regional Athlete Leadership Team.
All right, thank you, Jordan. Hi, guys. As Jordan said, my name's Amanda. Hi, everyone. My name's Amanda Knaus, and I am the REC representative from the Greater Lehigh Valley Pocono region. We started a regional athlete leadership team about a year ago that includes 1 athlete representative from each of the local teams. We meet about every other month, and Julie Benjamin, our regional executive director, also attends the meetings. The regional team has given us a chance to share information and ideas that will make the local team stronger. During the pandemic, we shared ideas for keeping the athletes involved. The regional team helps me prepare for the rec meetings because I can easily get the updates at the regional meetings. Our team is working on ideas for growing athlete leadership within the region. 2 of our local programs have restarted or restarted their athlete leadership teams, and 4 additional athletes and mentors are scheduled for athlete rep training this fall. We are also finding ways that athletes can support regional goals. For an example, we have talked about upcoming events like the Polar Pop and the Fitness Heptathlon, and provided information to the reps that they can share with their athletes. Having Julie Benjamin, our regional director, join our meetings helps us to know more about the regional staff. In fact, all the members came to a meeting last year and told us about their jobs. I am really excited about the future of athlete leadership in our region. When the regional staff reaches out to connect with reporters, donors, and organizations, the athlete leaders are included. In the future, there will be more opportunities for athlete leaders to work on regional projects, teams such as competition planning, and other events.
Thank you, Amanda. And I can tell you from tell everybody from firsthand experience. I got to attend the first couple regional athlete leadership team meetings when they first started, and I attended another one back in July, and I was just amazed of how well this team has greatly improved. And one of the things that I think most of us know that is to be a successful as an athlete leader, we need to have a mentor, or whether that's a family member, a coach, a friend, a coworker, whoever, someone that's willing to push us to do our best, just like our coaches do in sports. Now, the issue has been some of our before the regional structure, many of our local programs struggled recruiting volunteers, which made it difficult to identify mentors with anybody that was interested in becoming athlete leaders. But in the regional structure, I think this is going to greatly help. But don't take my word for it. I'm going to hand it over to Alice to talk a little bit more about mentor recruitment. Alice, take it away.
Alice,
you're still muted. Hang on.
or
Thank you.
she's asleep.
No. Now you can hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jordan. At a regional level, we've been working on a focused effort to recruit mentors. And a lot of times, many of our athletes have their parents as mentors, which is absolutely great. But some athletes who would make fantastic athlete representatives or athlete leaders don't have a parent who's able to serve in that capacity. So what the region allows us to do is to really develop a pool of qualified mentors that may not be limited to the geographic area of exactly where the county is, but they may be an interested and a fantastic person to serve as a mentor. And one of the things that's happened during the pandemic is that using Zoom, mentors and athletes don't have to be together. They can communicate. Occasionally, Amanda and I will sometimes communicate by text or even by chat during a meeting if she needs some clarification or if I have a question for her. So technology has helped us span the distance between where she is and where I am. Mentors can be volunteers who may not be interested in helping with a sport or not quite ready to take on a leadership position. So it's another option for volunteers to have. And also the mentor's strength can be in another area of expertise where they can really support an athlete with a similar expertise. For instance, people who are health and fitness coordinators might really love to help athletes who are in health and fitness, the health and fitness leadership positions. And the last advantage of really being able to spread your mentors and your athletes across the region and look at them as a pool of leaders together for the regional staff to call on when needed is that the availability and the timing of people, and also even just when they're recruited. A lot of times we'll have an athlete that's interested without a mentor. Sometimes we have mentors that are interested and they don't have an athlete. So, y- y- but not just the timing of the athlete and the mentor together, also the timing of who's available. Um, you might have a mentor who's gone to some training, but they're available in the daytime. Other mentors work during the day and they're only available in the evening. So it really helps us be able to match the people to what's needed. So a stronger mentor pool could lead to more meaningful relationships in leadership. And I already kind of mentioned this through the mentors connection and areas of expertise. And that's not to say that we should not allow parents to be mentors, because even as Amanda's mentors, there are times when her parents have stepped in and helped as well. But we probably have a different type of relationship than Amanda has, with her parents. However, they're still there as a resource to help. So that's what I have on mentors. Jordan?
Thank you, Alice. And you hit every point, Angela, perfectly. Yeah, I know we have some terrific mentors on here that would also agree with everything that you just said. And I think it's having a strong group of mentors regionally, like you have in the Greater Lehigh Valley Pocono region, will greatly influence and other current volunteers and even new volunteers that want to do many great things. So thank you, Alice, as well as all mentors. So now I'm going to hand it over to Julie to talk about more and better opportunity. So Julie, I'll hand it over to you now.
Thanks, Jordan. One thing I just wanted to add to what Alice said, because it's so true, but, just as a region, one of the things that, just to give you some examples of what we have worked on over the last several months, we found that there are many corporations who they're looking for opportunities for their employees. And that's an opportunity for mentors. So it's a great way to look at what Alice said. If you look at maybe some of the large healthcare systems around, we're starting to look, maybe they would be interested in a partnership, really, as a mentor with our athletes. And we've also partnered with, for us, and again, it's different across the state, but United Ways are pretty much everywhere in the state. And the Volunteer Center is another good resource for that as well. So just something to keep in mind that we found as we've sort of, charted this new course and figured out, it looks like those are a couple of good opportunities that can translate to other areas. Look at corporations and companies wherever you live, it might be a great place to recruit athlete mentors. So one of the things that we've really tried to focus on is being able to spend some time to find opportunities to really, have our athletes and particularly global messengers most recently, because of the need to do things via Zoom, really shine and be a part of so many of these opportunities that we've seen in the last several months. And since she's on here, I will give a shout out. I know that we've got 3 folks, I think, from our region, so I'll make sure that I shout out to everybody for their work they've done. But Brittany Thayer has done a great job. She participated with us in, there was a course offered at Moravian University, and it was about disabilities for public health. and it was a panel discussion, and Brittany was one of the panelists. And it was just an incredible opportunity, and it was a great perspective. I can tell you that those college students walked away with a completely different idea of what public health looks like for individuals with intellectual disabilities. She spelled it out in a very simple way that everyone could understand, and I don't think it was a perspective they had ever heard before. So in addition to being a great opportunity for Brittany, I thought it was a great opportunity for those college students to hear firsthand from an athlete about public health. I don't think it was something that they expected. So that was a great opportunity as well. Same thing for health and fitness coordinators. It's a great way to be engaged and speak to many different audiences. An example that we also had was going back to the whole idea of corporations. Many corporations have lunch and learns where their employees want to learn a little bit more about nonprofits that are in the area. That's a great opportunity for, and we've done the same thing, to highlight health and fitness coordinators and also global messengers so they can talk about what Special Olympics does. And in the case of health and fitness coordinators, the benefits of health and fitness above and beyond training and sports competitions. And then I think for us just in general, it's a great opportunity. Having the regional structure allows us to pull together all of the health and fitness coordinators, for example, within our region and find out, okay, what's important? Are you struggling with something? Is there something that's more of a challenge for you on your local team? Is there something that you've done really well? Well, let's share that idea and let's use that then for someone else. So I think that the idea of a regional structure also helps to idea share in a bigger way so that we can see what everyone is doing well. And we can also help to problem solve together if there's something that isn't going well. And we've seen this, you know, I will say to Amanda and Brandon, they're also both on our athlete leadership team. You know, they problem solve well. Our whole team problem solves. We bring something to the table and people talk about it and we get different opinions. So it's a great opportunity to hear the voices of not only your representative, but each athlete representative also is there to represent any challenges that may be happening at their local level. So we've seen that initially, and of course we're just at the beginning of being a region, quite frankly, but we're excited about what we're able to do, hopefully in the near future.
Thank you, Julia. And like I said with Amanda and Alice, this what you've done in Greater Lehigh Valley Pocono region has really set a strong bar for other regions to follow. I know this is again be a great opportunity for a great way to show everyone what you've accomplished and how we're going to really make this regional structure work. Because again, going back to what I said earlier, this really is a team effort of staff, volunteers, and athlete leaders. It's not just one individual. And that's kind of what ties into what I want to talk about next in regards to volunteers and staff expectations at the local, regional, and state level and identified within the regional playbook. So the regional playbook, that is a document that focuses on anything you can think of that's related to Special Olympics Pennsylvania in regards to sports, fundraising, health, athlete leadership, young athletes, unified champion schools, you name it, and it talks about that within the regional playbook. And I just wanted to, I don't want to keep everyone here all night because some of you, I'm sure, have questions. So I'll go through some excerpts from each of the three. So I'll start with local team expectations, and they're not really too different from what they are right now in the current structure. But just to reiterate, we want every local team to have at least one athlete representative, global messenger, and health and fitness coordinator. And ideally, we'd like to have different athletes in each of these roles to really, one, to give more athletes a chance, but also give the current athletes serving in these roles an opportunity to really excel. And once they have completed something in one role, certainly they can serve in another role but the thing with local teams is we want the team leaders, again, which is a new title for managers, is we want them to be communicating with coaches and current athlete leaders, as well as other volunteers, to help identify potential candidates for these different leadership roles. Because really, who knows better or of who would be the best fit for each role than the athletes and volunteers that are close with these individuals. And local team leaders are also expected to help interested athlete leaders identify someone to be their mentor if they don't have one already. But as Alice just talked about, hopefully with the community partnerships that each region establishes, that won't be as much of an issue as it is now. And then each local team will still have its own athlete leadership team, health and fitness club, and global messengers to help with outreach internally. I know that was a major concern a couple of years ago when reorganization was first brought up, but I want to assure everybody that each local team will still have its own athlete leadership team and other athlete leadership roles because ultimately we want Special Olympics to, Special Olympics can't grow at the regional level if it doesn't grow locally, just like it doesn't grow at the state level without the other two. Everything is connected together. So moving on to the regional office, and Julie mentioned this, and I'm just going to repeat it just to speak from my perspective as a state level staff. We want regional staff, particularly the executive director, to work with team leaders to identify appropriate and committed individuals to serve as athlete leaders. And some of you may be, excuse me, some of you may be used to hearing me talk about finding appropriate individuals, but we've learned that it's not just finding the appropriate individuals, but someone who's actually willing to take the time to be trained and get activated locally and regionally. And another thing we want to have is at least one athlete representative on all regional committees. Most particularly athlete representatives that are not on the regional athlete leadership team. And this is where I want to give a huge thanks to Julie and Alice for helping us recruit 5 individuals from their region to, since we weren't able to offer athlete representative training ourselves due to some internal circumstances, as well as Special Olympics International's new curriculum. We're actually going to have 5 of Greater Lehigh Valley Pocono region athletes, plus 1 athlete from another region that will be established next year, go through Special Olympics International's new athlete representative training, which will be really exciting. And so that way, not only do they know, are they able to learn stuff about how to be an athlete representative, but also they'll be able to get activated and serve on other committees and maybe eventually serve on the regional athlete leadership team and maybe the regional IMPA council. And of course, we want to have global messengers and health and fitness coordinators utilized where appropriate at regional events. And one of the things I've gotten over the years from global messengers, as well as sometimes health and fitness coordinators too, is what opportunities is at the state level or can I be selected? And the thing I always tell them is, and I understand that this has been a struggle, which is ultimately why we're reorganizing into a regional structure, is sometimes we want everybody to get activated locally first before anything to show that they are they're committed individuals. And by having the support of regional staff, there will be more opportunities at regional events like competitions, fundraisers, recruitment events, and everything in between to really educate folks inside and outside the organization about what they can do for Special Olympics or how to improve their health and fitness. And then last but not least, I'll talk a little bit about expectations from the state level, particularly in me, but maybe also some other staff. So we're going to still host to aim at least 3 athlete leadership university sessions each year. And these sessions, regardless of where they're hosted geographically, when we get to the point that we can start offering in-person activity sessions again, because we are offering in-person activities, we want to try to create as many opportunities for folks across the state. But if you are willing to drive more than 3 hours to a session, you're absolutely welcome to. We want to make sure we offer sessions that are geographically and timing wise as appropriate available to those that are truly interested. Another thing that the state office will continue to do is select athlete leaders for state level opportunities. Is like speaking opportunity is at state events or volunteering with Healthy Habits. And then, of course, something that's not changing is I'll still keep track and follow up on practicums and also provide ongoing support to athlete leaders and mentors following training, so that way they can not only graduate but continue to be active and serve their local teams and regions for many years to come. And then also find other ways to keep athletes engaged in all competitive and non-competitive activity is too. And I think that are not just, and I'm not just talking about myself here, I'm talking about our entire staff team. I felt like given the circumstances we had last year and throughout most of this year, we've made the most of them. And I think it's only going to make a Fall Fest and every state event that happens next even that much more special because of how close we came together in the past year. So I promised at the beginning I would give at least 15 minutes. Now I have done a little better. So you have 27 minutes. So I didn't see anything in the chat that that was a specific question to anything we talked about, but I'll pause for a moment, let folks that wish to speak unmute themselves, and then of course I'll answer questions from the state perspective, and then of course if appropriate I'll hand to our guest presenters to speak on a regional basis. So I see Nate, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
So Jordan, your last point about engagement, I think, is a really important one, and I just want to underscore that one. We're in a really exciting time as an organization, you know, with all the regionalization going on. There are a lot of things that we're going to be discussing as an organization. Admittedly, there are questions that we don't know the answer to, and you guys have a great opportunity to bring voice and be a part of the conversation. Our commitment as an organization is to make sure you have a seat at the table. So it won't be on every possible thing. Efficiently, we won't be able to do that, but there's gonna be lots of important decisions, and we need to make sure you guys are part of it. This is an organization for our athletes, by our athletes, and it's an exciting time. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you in advance for the leadership that you're going to bring to the table during this exciting time.
Thank you, Nate. Julie, go ahead.
I just wanted to sort of throw out there, it's a good dovetail from Nate, is that, you know, on the call, we have Amanda, we have Brittany, we have Tari, and we also have Brandon. And, you know, they've done this. So if you have questions, contact them. You know, that's a great way to find out. Reach out to your fellow athletes and see what they're doing. You know, part of it, you know, Alice can speak to her part and Jordan can speak to his part and I can speak to mine. But to be truthful, the best person to talk to is another athlete. So, you know, I encourage you to connect with them and find out what their experience has been like. We're all still learning. Of course, it hasn't been perfect, but for those of you who are interested, reach out to those folks. And I'm sure none of them are shy. So I'm sure all of them will be happy to share their experiences with you.
Great, thank you, Julie. And for anyone here now or watching later from regions 2 and 7, we have Noah Reinhardt and Caitlin Barron, who are RIC representatives from those regions, and they'll be doing the same things that Amanda will be doing. I'm looking forward to working with them and their regional executive directors and mentors as well.
Yeah, I'd like to add one more comment too, because I had left this out of what I was going to say when I was talking, and that is you know, I can see the benefit of the idea sharing and being able to work together as a region across the athletes, but it also helps so much in a mentor position. The fact that another mentor in another county can, you know, call me up and say, you know, what do you do about this? What do you do about that? And share ideas. And I think from my perspective, um, being a mentor to Amanda on the RIC, she certainly has learned a lot about the RIC, but I watch how Jordan and Chelsea work together, and I've learned about being a better mentor from watching how they work. So you know, when I think about how the region was before, there was no real reason for me to even speak to, or for Amanda to speak to the athletes right next door to us on either side. And, you know, now there is. And I think that sharing and the ideas generated from that interaction make everybody's voice even more powerful.
Thank you, Alice, as well said. Any other questions, comments? Atari, go ahead.
What I liked about working with the regional team, that we had an opportunity to be the voice of the Special Olympics, but Special Olympics as an organization is to what I love about working with the region is about to I'd like to help out with what's needed to improve to make the Special Olympics better than ever, and also it helped me to be the voice of Special Olympics as an organization, as a regional team. So being the regional team, that's gonna that we talked about is to. That's going to make it to educate all the athletes about what the athlete team's about, and it's just trying to recruit more athletes to work with athlete leadership team, especially the global messenger and the representative and the health manager, and hopefully we can get involved to be a voice and be the voice and to work with more involved to athlete the leadership team to get more involved. So it's to be a voice. It's to especially it's a great sports organization. We don't want to make it less political, but we want to be the voice of the Special Olympics. And I love to work with. Although I really enjoy the working with the athlete leadership team is to yeah, it's great. I really enjoy working with them, and I thought that the group is all a productive group. So yeah, that make us the one wants to be the voice of Special Olympics.
Very well said. Thank you, Arya. I know that you've been an athlete leader for many years, and I always see how enthusiastic you are in any opportunity, big or small. And I know folks like you are what every regional athlete leadership team needs. So thank you.
No problem.
Julie, did you have another question, or did you keep or comment, or I don't know if
No, my hand just keeps sitting up there. It's not, no
okay,
additional thoughts.
that's right. I keep
Sorry.
forgetting I have the ability to lower her hands as a host. I should know this by now.
Yeah, I got one more questions.
Go ahead, Dari.
One, one athlete wants to be the join of the Global Messenger, or the one wants someone to join the Global Messenger. But one of them is one of the athletes who wants to sign up the athlete leadership team. That's why I want to recruit more athletes to get more involved in to the athlete leadership team, like Global Messenger, Health, and athlete representative, and one athlete wants to sign up, but I can't remember what the limitation is, but be one athlete's trying to sign up, but he can't. What's the limitation? He can't sign up. So.
Well, yeah, Tara, and I remember we talked about this as a little bit, and we can certainly talk about the specifics offline. But good news is Lehigh does have someone that will be a part of the Villanova study, so that will make your job as an athlete representative a little easier. And then once we offer trainings, we'll be able to get more global messengers and health and fitness coordinators. But what I will say to this is we're actually working on, since we revised our new healthy lifestyles curriculum recently, to any health and fitness coordinators on here, this is just a good heads up. We're going to be uploading a new online training module into the online portal for one, as a refresher to our current health and fitness coordinators to learn what we recently revised, and secondly, for any new athlete that wants to be a health and fitness coordinator, how to get activated locally. And then with Global Messengers, the same thing. I certainly welcome for anybody that feels that they know somebody who would be a great Global Messenger, but the thing I would say to your program manager is to give them a small speaking opportunity with a local partner. And then if they feel that they do a good job, then they can go ahead and be trained and go on to be selected for bigger opportunities. So that's enough from me. Zach, you've had your hand raised for a while. Go ahead.
Okay, so when we get to Villanova, I can ask some of the athletes, right?
Yeah, so Tara, this is actually a virtual session that Villanova and Special Olympics International are hosting together, so it is something separate from Fall Fest.
Yeah, so I can ask some of my athletes about it. If they
yeah, certainly could talk about it at Fall Fest. I just wanted you to know that detail. You good there?
Yeah. I'm fine.
All right, perfect.
So I can tell my athletes about the how to join the athlete leadership team when we get to Villanova.
Yeah, certainly. Zach, you've had your hand raised for a while. I'm guessing it's getting pretty sore, so I'll let you go ahead.
Oh, I'm all right, Jordan. I'm just gonna say
I know it's a Zoom joke.
I was just gonna say thank you to all the presenters here tonight for presenting to us as athlete leaders and giving us more information
about being regionalized.
More information about being regionalized. Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you, Zach.
You're welcome.
And for those that don't know, Zach is the vice chair of our Regional Input Council, and we also have our chair, Dan Kolb. So I appreciate that you guys, as well as your mentors, being on with us as well.
You're welcome, Jordan, anytime.
All righty. Anyone else have anything they want to share? I don't want to hold anyone up too much longer than needed.
Caitlin's got her hand up, Jordan.
Go ahead, Caitlin.
I'd just like to thank the presenters as well. And I'm going to be in Region 2, and I'm really excited about the regionalization. I think it's going to be great for athletes and mentors and volunteers and just everyone. So
Yeah,
I'm
and Caitlin,
excited.
I can't tell you how excited I was when I found out Region 2 was going to be added, just because I know I kind of had a feeling early on that you would be the representative and I just knew that you would be a great fit to help the other surrounding counties really grow and do many great things, like it's shown in a Greater Lehigh Valley Pocono region.
Caitlin, what county are you from in Region 2?
I'm from Center County.
Excellent. You're going to be a great asset to that team.
Thank you.
And for those that don't know, Caitlin also works for Special Olympics International as part of their Global Organizational Excellence team. So just figured I'd throw that out there too. All righty, so I don't see any hands raised physically or remotely, so I'll just pause for a moment. Going once, going twice, dramatic pause. All right, well, thank you to everybody who was able to join. I'll be, like I said, this is recording, so feel free to, I'll send this out to everybody who registered, or if not tomorrow, sometime before the end of the week, since there were quite a few registered that didn't and make it, want to give them a chance to view and ask questions, just in case there was anything that wasn't asked here that they want to know. But don't want to hold anyone up here too much longer, but happy to stick around as folks are dropping off if there's anything you want to talk about directly with me. So thank you, everybody.
Have a good night. I'll see you all in Villanova.
You're welcome, Jordan.